Question number 7, our first linear equation that we have come across so far, if you're going in order. And the question asks, which equation matches the following graph? And they give us a graph here on the coordinate plane, give us a line, and 4 answer choices. Now the issue here is they have only put one of the answer choices, answer choice A, in slope-intercept form, where we can determine that 3 is the slope and -2 is the y-intercept. Where does it cross the y-axis? And so we're not sure about these others because some of them are in standard form. Well, not even really any of them in standard form. They're kind of all mixed around. So you could convert all of these into slope-intercept form and then calculate the slope between 2 points and do different things like that. What strategy we're going to kind of look at here is that we have 4 choices and we already have the line for us. So let's see if some of these pairs on the line, if they satisfy the equation. So let me get a pen here and let's mark some of these points where they cross. So we have one point that lies directly there at that point. We also have another one here we can notice pretty easy. This one, this ordered pair here is 0, -2, and this ordered pair here is 2 and 1. Right, so the x in our coordinate system, the x is the first number, the y is the second number, and so our x's are positive as we move right, negative as we move left. Of course, they label it out on the graph for you, which makes it easy, and they give you the coordinates. You just have to get them in the right order. So now the strategy we're going to use is we're going to substitute in 2 for x and 1 for y and see if the equations equal each other. Now I could use the 0 and the -2 here, but anytime I'm dealing with them, if I don't have to use negative numbers, I won't use them just because we might confuse the situation and forget one of our number properties. So let's plug in 2 for x. So x is going to equal 2 and y is going to equal 1, and we're going to evaluate each one of these equations. Right, so in the first one here, we'll have 3 times 2, and 3 times 2 is 6. 6 minus 2 equals 4. That's not 1. So 6 does not equal 1, so we're going to mark out 8. Let's plug it into the next one. So we'll have 1 for y, and we will have 2 for x. So this is 3 times 2. Or excuse me, -3 times 2. So we have 1 plus 2, which is 3, and -3 times 2, which is -6. Those do not equal each other, so we'll mark those out. And you use your calculator on this. You can learn how to type in your negative numbers, so -3 times 2, and it'll do all that for you. And write them down as you do them. So you might do 1 plus 2, and this is 3 on this side, and then you come over here, and this is -6, and those aren't equal to each other. All right, let's move on to the next one. Then we'll have 1 for y and 2 for x. So this will be 2 times 2 on this. Right, so we have to follow our order of operations. We have to do what's inside the parentheses before we can multiply. So 1 plus 2 is 3, and 3 times 3. So this side of the equation now equals 9. And this is 2 times 2, which is 4. And that is not correct. So that leaves us with the very last one. So we'll plug it in just to double check. So we have a 1 here and 3 times 2 here. So we have 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 times 2, so this side is 6. Order of operations, whoops. And then 3 times 2 here is 6. And so we are correct as we went through them. So D is our answer choice. So if they're not in slope-intercept form, this is just one was in slope-intercept form. But if they're not in slope-intercept form, even if they are, you can just use the substitution method and solve and evaluate to see if they're equal to one another or if it gives you the desired answer that you need. So take a little time on these questions. They will take some work, but there's not anything that you can't get correct on these questions if you'll just take the time to do them. And be careful with your substitutions and know your number properties and your order of operations, negatives times negatives or positives and those sorts of things. and you have to do what's inside parentheses first. So become familiar with your calculator on some of that, and it'll help you also.